Where the high-resolution A7R, high-ISO A7S, and high-speed A9 are all specialists, the base Sony A7 has always been more of a generalist. It's okay at a variety of tasks, but doesn't excel in any one. Or at least, that's how it used to be. When Sony introduced the A7 III, it proudly claimed it would redefine what it meant to be a basic camera. With its combination of excellent image quality, blazing fast performance, and really solid video features, this isn't just an affordable entry-level model, it's an aspirational product of its own, and probably the most valuable camera in Sony's full-frame lineup. And yes, we get it that this video is quite late, but there's a reason we like to look at products even many months after their release. When we published our initial hands-on with the A7 III, we were easily blown away. But since then, other brands have had a chance to catch up with Sony's new definition of the basic model. Canon and Nikon have entered the full-frame mirrorless game, and the Nikon Z6 in particular is a direct competitor to the A7 III, offering the same resolution, similar performance numbers, and importantly, the same $2,000 price tag. But before we get carried away talking about the competition, let's talk about what the A7 III is and what it does really well, because there's a lot. Like the A7 and A7 II before it, the Mark III is built around a 24 megapixel sensor, but this one is now backside illuminated, meaning more surface area is exposed to light, making it more sensitive. If you believe the wizards over at DxOMark, it actually matches the A7R III for dynamic range and puts up the best score of any full-frame camera for high ISO noise. In our testing, we found ISO 25600 to be surprisingly usable, although the maximum 51200 did introduce a noticeable magenta color shift and quite a bit more noise. Still, with some modest noise reduction in Lightroom, it's not too bad. So unless you absolutely need more resolution, the A7 III is just about equal or better than any other full-frame camera on the market for both low and high ISO shooting. Add to this the 10 frames per second continuous shooting speed, and it has more than enough speed for most of us. Plus, you get the 693-point autofocus system from the A9, a camera that costs more than twice as much. And don't forget about the 5-axis stabilization, which is now good for 5 stops of shake reduction, half a stop better than the A7 II. So, review over, go buy it. Well, maybe not so fast. A few months ago, the A7 III was a shoo-in, but it's no longer running uncontested. The Nikon Z6 is a compelling alternative and does actually offer some things not found on the Sony, such as 10-bit 4K video output. The A7 III does offer much more control for internal video recording, however, with S-Log 2 and 3, 4 different flavors of hybrid log gamma, and a wealth of additional settings you can customize. The Z6 does have a faster maximum burst rate of 12 frames per second, but image quality does drop to 12-bit RAW in this mode. At 14-bit, it's limited to 9 FPS, whereas the Sony can shoot 14-bit at its full 10 FPS. The A7 III also boasts vastly superior battery life, with a CEPA rating of 710 exposures compared to just 330 for the Z6, and as always, in real-world conditions, you may get much more than this. Ultimately though, your choice may be less about specs and more just about your personal preferences, which of course are going to be determined by many different things. For example, we're not huge fans of Sony's user interface. In terms of physical controls, it makes somewhat poor use of the camera's real estate, with plenty of empty space on top and on front, where additional direct access controls or a top LCD screen could have been placed. Worse though is the menu system, which organizes some settings together in a way that just doesn't seem to make sense. In time, you'll get used to whatever camera you buy, so this isn't a huge issue, but it is one area where Sony could see some refinement. And this is not to say that Nikon or Canon or anyone else doesn't have their own issues, but it's one of those things you may want to consider and look into before making a decision. Overall, we were really impressed with the A7 III. It's an incredibly capable, very responsive camera that performs above expectations in a wide variety of scenarios. While it may not be quite as obvious a choice as it was when it launched, the A7 III remains one of the top options in this class and even reaches beyond its class. We can wholeheartedly recommend it to a wide variety of photographers, even professionals who could afford much more. When it comes to full-frame mirrorless, Sony may no longer be the only game in town, but in many ways, it is still the best.
Those hands and lights can't stop me. I just hold on for dear life. Yeah, I can't give up this feeling that I get when looking down from the sky. Now with you, now with you,
Hi there, I'm Chris Oganek, Product and Training Specialist for Nikon. And in my hands is the really exciting full-frame, entry-level Z mirrorless body, the Z5. Now, if you're looking to make the jump into a full-frame mirrorless body, chances are you know the benefits of shooting with larger pixels, better high ISO performance, and greater dynamic range. Now, this is a big purchase, so you've probably already been doing your research and know which features are important to you. Up until the Z5 was released, your options for a Nikon full-frame mirrorless product was either the Z7 or Z6. The impressive part about the Z5 to me is how much of those higher-end cameras is retained in this entry-level model. Now, I hear from a lot of current Z users about what they love about their Z7 and Z6s. Let's go through some of those major features. The superior ergonomics. People love the feel of the grip, the button placement, and how easy the camera is to use, especially if you're already a Nikon user. Well, guess what? The ergonomics of the Z5 are nearly identical, with the only real difference being the mode dial moving to the right side of the camera where the control panel used to be. In terms of the number of function buttons, the menu system, nothing else changes. It even comes with an AF joystick and dedicated AF on button. The electronic viewfinder. The Z7 and Z6 have amazing optics built into their EVF, helping them stand out from the rest of the crowd. And when you combine that with a very high resolution of 3.69 million dots, you get users who have absolutely fallen in love with this realistic looking EVF. Now, the first thing many users expect to be changed for an entry-level model is the EVF, but you get the same size and resolution of EVF in the Z5 as you do from the Z7 or Z6. So when you're doing your homework and researching the Z5, make sure you go into your local camera store and try this EVF, see how good it truly is. USB power delivery and battery compatibility. Many Nikon DSLR users already have the Nano 15s from their D750, D850, and they love being able to use those batteries within their Z7 and Z6. Well, don't fear, the Z5 still uses an Nano 15, and it's still compatible with the earlier versions of it. But it actually ships with a new Nano 15C version, which for the first time in a Nikon allows the camera to be powered by an external power source while the camera is still being used. This is great for in-studio work, time lapses, movie recording, and more. Weather sealing. Many Z7 and Z6 users love having the confidence in their gear thanks to the superior dust and drip resistance that Nikon has provided. Not only are the Z7 and Z6 weather sealed to the same degree as our Pro Series DSLRs, but the Z5 has the same weather sealing too. The Z5 is also ensured to have a highly durable and rugged body, employing a lightweight yet robust magnesium alloy chassis for the body's top and front cover. Image sensor shift VR. Z7 and Z6 users have gained a huge appreciation for having in-camera vibration reduction. Whether they're shooting handheld slow motion videos at 120p and need the extra stabilization, or they're using non-VR f-mount glass with the FTZ adapter and love the fact that their lens now has VR. Well, the Z5 also has 5-axis in-camera VR, providing up to 5 stops of compensation. Built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Being able to quickly and easily transfer images to your smart device or computer means being able to share your amazing photos that much faster. And the Z5 makes it easy thanks to built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Hybrid AF. Just like the Z6, the Z5 employs a 273-point hybrid AF system with a 90% coverage in the horizontal and vertical directions, providing the best of both worlds, a fast and smooth AF experience with incredible accuracy as well. It also includes the same features from the Z6, such as face and eye detection for both people and cats and dogs. So if you're a vlogger, the incredibly reliable face detect while recording videos gives you great results that are worry-free. So let's take a quick look at all those features I just mentioned. Great ergonomics, an amazing EVF, USB power delivery, weather sealing, IBIS, built-in wireless, and hybrid AF. All of those are major features that are important to users when trying to pick a new full-frame camera. And the Z5 has them all. The Z5 can shoot at 4.5 frames per second in stills mode. And the great thing is that there are no caveats to this continuous drive mode feature, as you get full autofocus and metering capability at the fastest frame rate. The Nikon design team spent a lot of time trying to optimize the size and weight of the camera, ensuring that it was comfortable, that it was usable no matter what lens was on it, that it had enough functional buttons, and that it kept current battery compatibility. With all of those factors in mind, the design team was led to make a body that's actually nearly identical in size and weight to the current full-frame Z bodies. This was hugely important to ensure that the camera wasn't too small and didn't become cramped or uncomfortable when in use. And since the Z5 doesn't shoot at high a frame rate in video or stills mode, there's less of a need for a super high-speed XQD or CF Express memory card. This means that an SD card can be used in it, and since the body is large enough to accommodate it, dual SD cards have been implemented. I feel like I've left the best for last when it comes to the Z5, except this last feature isn't actually a part of the body, but it's designed to help make the whole system more compact. Because while any of Nikon's Z lenses will feel comfortable when used with the Z5, before this new lens, any user wanting a smaller and compact system that'd be great for travel, let's say, they would have had to gravitate towards the already compact 24-70mm f4S lens. But there's now another option. The new kit lens, the ultra compact 24-50mm f4 to 6.3. while the 24-70 f4S lens is already quite small considering its amazing sharpness and fast f4 aperture. You can easily see how much smaller the new 24-50mm lens is. But the weight saving is even more impressive, coming in at over 200 grams less than the 24-70 f4S lens. The size and weight savings are remarkable, but so are the optical characteristics. Great sharpness and contrast. Users are going to love the combination of small size and high quality. And to effectively control chromatic aberrations and color bleeding, it includes 2 ED glass elements and 3 aspherical elements. This Nikon Z lens, along with the DX 16-50mm and the 24-70mm f4S lens, is going to continue to overturn the perception of what a conventional kit lens is capable of. So if you're in the market for a new full-frame mirrorless body, decide which mirrorless features are important to you, and whether it's IBIS, a high-tech hybrid AF system, weather sealing, dual SD cards, or an amazing EVF. Chances are the Z5 will check that box.
Hey there everyone, I'm Billy Kyle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Panasonic's LUMIX G95. Opening up the box will reveal the manuals right on top to help you get familiar with the camera. Underneath of this second lid here is the lens and lens hood, the camera body itself, a strap to attach to the camera, and all of the necessary charging accessories. Once all of the pieces have been taken out of the plastic, this is everything that you can expect to get inside of the box. Now taking a closer look at the G95 here, this is a great camera with interchangeable lenses for travel. The body feels rugged and is weather sealed, which is a huge plus for taking on trips. There are plenty of customizable buttons and controls around the camera to make shooting easier. On the inside, it boasts a micro four thirds 20.3 megapixel digital live MOS sensor without a low pass filter. This sensor is capable of shooting continuous photos at 9 frames per second and can go up to ISO 25600. The Panasonic LUMIX G95 has a detailed OLED viewfinder and a sharp 3-inch free-angle touchscreen that allows you to work up high, down low, and from the front, which is perfect for vlogging and generally framing up your shot when filming yourself. There's even a built-in flash to use when the light is too low. Now in this kit, the Panasonic G95 comes with a versatile 24 to 120mm equivalent wide to telezoom lens. The LUMIX G 12 to 60mm f3.5 to 5.6 covers a wide range of focal distances and is perfect for capturing wide scenes and for focusing in on the details. In addition to capturing beautifully detailed photos, the Panasonic LUMIX G95 can capture 4K Vlog-L video in 24 and 30 frames per second, all on a 5-axis stabilized sensor. There's also a micro HDMI port for real-time 8-bit 422 output to external monitors and a 3.5mm headphone jack for external microphones. Now after you've shot all of your photos and videos, there's built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.2, which make it easy to share those images while on the go. The Panasonic LUMIX G95 can also be controlled over Wi-Fi and Bluetooth via a smartphone to activate shutter release and video record start and stop. And so there you have it, that is everything that you need to know about the Panasonic LUMIX G95, an excellent choice for someone that wants to capture photos and videos on the go with the flexibility of an interchangeable lens system.
Meet the Panasonic G9, Panasonic's new stills-focused flagship camera. It's based on the same 20.3 megapixel sensor as the highly rated GH5. But unlike the GH5, the G9 is all about high-performance photography. It can shoot 20 frames per second with continuous autofocus using an electronic shutter, or 9 frames per second with a mechanical shutter. The camera's large OLED viewfinder has an impressive 0.83 times magnification and a 120 frames per second refresh rate for a very lifelike shooting experience. Panasonic put a lot of work into enhancing its JPEG engine, which shows improved color and noise reduction and textures that appear more organic. It also claims an incredible 6.5 stops of image stabilization when used with stabilized lenses, which should make it easy to handhold shots even using very long lenses. Focus comes from an improved version of Panasonic's depth from defocus technology, and includes a nicely positioned joystick for quick operation. The rear LCD can also be used for AF point selection with a camera to your eye. The G9 also adds a high-resolution sensor shift mode. By shifting its 20 megapixel sensor 8 times in half-pixel increments, it can create impressive 80 megapixel RAW and JPEG images. Although the G9 is aimed at photographers, it still includes impressive video specs, including 4K 60p video, a 150 megabit per second codec, and 4K and 6K photo modes. The camera has dust and moisture sealing and a cold weather rating of -10 Celsius. It also includes a USB 3 connection as well as Bluetooth LE and Wi-Fi for use with smart devices. The G9 will be available in early 2018 at a cost of $1,699.